this will be the last time you see your family and friends. Let's get this show on the road!
The king of cakes. ChoppA for the win.
G'day guys, welcome back to Cakes by ChoppA. Today we have Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine, which was requested by Pink Stylist. Now I'm not going to lift him up because it's a mirror glaze and I don't want the face to slide off just yet. I haven't taken any photos. So Charlie, here you go. It's a year and a half late, but I got it to you. Charlie has a great channel here on YouTube. Check him out in the card above. Let me show you how to make this. Let's go. Once you've popped over to my Facebook page, you've printed off your Bendy template. What we're going to do is make sure that is the same size as the cake. Then we'll cut it out. Now you need this template in two pieces. We're going to cut out the main shape and then the shape of his inner face. The cake I'm going to use is a 6-inch round cake that I've cooked, and it's got a bit of a dome on it. We're not going to get rid of that. I have split it though, so I can fill it. Before we do that, I'm going to place the outer template onto the cake. Find where I want the position to be, because I'm going to work with the slight doming. So place that on, make sure your cake is level, cut out the piece of his head at the top. Now that we have the basic shape, there is a few little tricks you're going to do. I'm going to angle down this inner part, you can see ever so slightly. This just helps trick the eye, so you don't have to be looking at the cake on a bird's eye view. It's when I'm standing here, it'll still look perfect shape. From all the pictures and images I've seen of Bendy, he kind of looks rounded. So this is already round, but when I look from this side, it doesn't look quite right. So I am going to taper those edges off a little bit too. You want to give him the shape of like a Smartie or an M&M. So now that we're happy with the face shape of Bendy, we're going to fill our cake with some whipped ganache and then give it a crumb coat. With this crumb coat, the thickness is optional. What we're basically using it for is to get a nice smooth finish over and take out any of the imperfections on the cake itself. So you can put a fairly decent amount, or you can put just the bare minimum, because we are going to cover this. So Bendy's apparently from a game or a cartoon. I should check my facts. But my friend Charlie, who is Pink Stylist here on YouTube, has done a makeup tutorial on it, and it looks amazing. And he strongly suggested that I do one well over a year ago, but I'm getting to it. If you want to check out Charlie's channel, links in the description or the card annotation above. Yeah, I've never played it because I wouldn't consider myself a gamer. But you give ChoppA a couple of drinks and some SingStar and it's on. Now if you have any trouble with icing these corners, what I do is just push it on that side and bring it around. And then push in and bring around that way. But I've found that's the easiest way to get it close enough to where it's good, and then you can just clean it up when it's finished setting. Okay, now that I'm happy with that, I'm gonna pop it in the fridge and let that set, bring it back out, smooth it over, and get it nice and smooth, ready for the mirror glaze. So now we're back with the smoothed out cake. It's been chilled. I've got myself a wire rack and a plate that is bigger than the cake. Place the cake on top of the wire rack, and we have our mirror glaze that I'm just going to use a store-bought one. And we're going to start by pouring this over. Now you do want to work kind of quick with this. You start in the middle, in circular motion. I'm going to bring it up to the ears a little bit, just to help that go. And bring it out to the edge of the cake. Just making sure you get it all over and let it do its thing. Now I'm going to gently shake it. While that cake was chilling, I coloured some fondant in a off mustard yellow. I'm going for that old sepia film grain look as in the reference picture. So what we're going to do is roll that out to a decent thickness. You don't want it too thick, but too thin will make it hard to apply to the cake. Once you're happy with where you roll it out, place your template on. Then you're just going to cut it out. Use my finger to just slide around and smooth those side bits down. I'm going to carefully place this onto a chopping board, cut out his mouth. The reason I'm doing his mouth separate is I want to give like a 3D effect with the brush. What we're going to do is use a little bit of black petal dust, and I'm going to rough up the edges. Just go over and give his face that real grimy, grotty look. And pay attention to the teeth, how he's got a little bit of shading above and below. That's why I did the mouth separate, because this will be very easy to keep that shading look and not ruin the rest of the face. Lightly tap the petal dust onto the top of the face, but then where it's got the lines, I'm gonna put it quite heavy. I'm gonna just drag that down. Okay, then I'll go with my brush and neaten it up to what I want. Now I'm gonna take my click twist brush that you've seen in the last couple of videos, and I'm going to give him the details that I want to follow the template. Spatula to place that on in the right spot. There's a little bit of edible glue. You can use your template to go through and give you the guide of where the eyes will be. Just lightly tracing it over with something pointy, but you don't want to press too hard. Then when you lift off, I don't know if you'll see this on camera, but then there's a guide for me to follow. So I can just get the paint. There we go. We have Bendy's eyes in. Then I'm going to go and add some extra paint drips and use this semi-dry brush to just bring that over the top and make it a little bit more cohesive. You can see how I get to control the shading a little bit more. Give a light, loose rub around the bottom just to basically give him a border so you don't have this massive pop of yellow transitioning out of the mirror glaze. That's what we're trying to avoid. Now that I'm happy with the look of Bendy's face, I'm gonna pop it into the freezer just for 5 to 10 minutes to make it firm so I can transfer it to the cake easily. While the face is in the fridge, we can transfer the cake to the board. I'm gonna use a long spatula to go in and under the cake and just gently lift down, use your finger to lift, and then let go. You can see you get this beautiful drip effect around the bottom, which is very on brand for Bendy. In the time it took me to do that, Bendy is now firm enough for me to just lift with my fingers. Then I'm going to just gently place that on the top. And you don't want to push too hard, just let that slowly sink its way in. I'm just going to gently tap around the edges so it seals. And there you have your very own Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine cake. If you wanted to make this at home and you're like, ChoppA, I don't have the petal dust or the dyes, you can just get some black food coloring and some cocoa. You'll get a very similar effect and it'll still look great. The mirror glaze you can purchase at most stores, or you can make it. There's plenty of recipes on YouTube to check it out. Speaking of checking out some other things, please go check out my friend Pink Stylist. He's done an amazing tutorial on Bendy, but a link to his channel will be in the cards and at the end of the video where you can check out his channel and the specific Bendy tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.